Before I begin with V. Ganesan's account of Yogi Ramsuratkumar, I wanted to share my own experience. It was one day in May of 1996, while staying at Ramanasramam. I visited the ashram of the saint Yogi Ramsuratkumar. At the time, I was an immature seeker. I asked to see the master, but the ashram staff said that the saint was out and would return in 3 hours' time and receive me. I waited patiently in the courtyard. Several hours later, a car came through the ashram gate. The yogi saint clearly visible through the open window. Immediately, he turned to me in the courtyard with a beaming smile, his hands together in the traditional honoring formation Namaste, recognizing the God within. Several minutes later, a staff member came and advised me that the saint was not feeling well and would not receive me for darshan. I felt cheated, and the mind rebelled with fury against the outrage of it all. The story was, I waited 3 hours for nothing. In the coming months, on my return to the States, I told a few friends the story of my visit, framing it as a disaster. But over the years, I've come to see that I did in fact receive a potent darshan. Yogi Ramsuratkumar's smile has come to me many times, like a tinkling bell inside the heart, and it always brings me joy. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, V. Ganesan's account. Yogi Ramsuratkumar was born in a village near Kashi, Varanasi, in North India. He was fascinated by the sacred river Ganga and played along its banks, and it gave him an immense joy. Even as a young boy, he longed for the company of the many holy men who thronged to the Ganga Mata. His association with them ignited the spark of spirituality in his heart. Soon, the spark grew into a flame, an urge for inner peace. A seemingly ordinary incident, the death of a bird right in front of his eyes, drove home the message of life's transitory nature. One of the monks he met at that time specifically guided him, saying that his guru lived in South India. In due course, he went to the Himalayas, where he came across the book Light on Yoga by Sri Aurobindo. Inspired by the book, he went to Pondicherry in South India to meet Sri Aurobindo. He was disappointed when the darshan did not happen. A wandering sadhu on the beach there told him about a great Mahatma in nearby Tiruvannamalai who was accessible all 24 hours of the day. He came to Tiruvannamalai and had the glorious darshan of Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. After drenching himself for a few months in the all-pervading grace of Sri Bhagavan at Ramanasramam, he went to the Himalayas once again. This time around, his heart was overflowing with the bliss of Sri Bhagavan's silence. With the passage of time, the divine fervor that he had experienced in Sri Bhagavan's powerful presence began to wane. So he returned to Sri Ramanasramam. But Sri Bhagavan had by that time dropped the body, and the absence of the physical presence of Sri Ramana Maharshi affected Yogi Ramsuratkumar very deeply. He expressed his anguish to the pundit T.K. Sundaresa Iyer, an old devotee of Sri Bhagavan. On expressing his need for a guru living in the body, TKS guided him to Swami Ramdas, living in Kerala. Swami Ramdas told him to chant the name of Lord Rama, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, continuously for 24 hours. In response, the yogi chanted it for 7 days uninterruptedly. This brought back his divine madness. Subsequently, he wandered all over India for 7 years, from 1952 to 1959. His spiritual journey culminated in his setting his feet again in holy Arunachala. Yogi Ramsuratkumar never claimed to be a guru. On the other hand, he would repeatedly say, "This beggar died in 1952 at the holy feet of his master, Swami Ramdas. Father alone exists now as this beggar." He said many other things, which I quote, "My Father alone exists, nothing else, nothing else. Past, present, future, only my Father, all pervasive, everywhere. In him, everything is included. Every object, man, animal, bird, tree or stone, all is nothing but my Father. Father has not given the work of teaching and preaching to this beggar. Father has given the work of preaching and teaching to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Swami Ramtirtha, Sri Aurobindo, Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, and Swami Ramdas. Father has given this beggar only the work of alleviating the physical, mental, and spiritual suffering of the seekers. It is all only the Father, Father and Father alone." Yogi Ramsuratkumar and V. Ganesan. Several years back at this same venue, this was recorded in North Carolina, I covered Yogi Ramsuratkumar's life extensively. Those who are interested may go to the website. This time I feel we should concentrate on how Yogi Ramsurat helped spiritual aspirants to overcome their suffering. Yogiji's method of dissolving their suffering, pain, and problems was very unique. All of us know that the most difficult stumbling block to spiritual progress is the suffering that is inflicted by oneself, by others, or by circumstances. My long association with Yogi Ramsuratkumar of more than 40 years is studded with precious pearls of soul-melting incidents that reveal the extreme kindness, love, care, and compassion that Swamiji or Yogiji exuded. During the holy festival of Kartigai Deepam and the Maha Shivaratri, many visiting sadhus used to walk into the ashram office at Ramanasramam and perform the miracles like producing images of gods and objects from nowhere. Though I did not know how these miracles were done, I was never impressed by them. Sri Bhagavan's assurance that all such miracles are comparable to incidents taking place in one's dream was my support. Lots of miracles happened around Yogi Ramsuratkumar too. but they were very different. They invariably happened to relieve people of their physical and mental suffering. But Yogi never claimed that he did them. On the contrary, he would always insist, everything is happening by Father's grace. In some rare cases, when his prayers seemed to have failed, Yogi would say that, too, Father, it was Father's will. Even if what they prayed for did not happen, people who came to Yogi went away happy because of the love, compassion, and care that the sage poured unconditionally on them. Asking nothing of anybody and taking no credit for himself, one can only guess the enormous influence and help that he brought into the lives of innumerable persons. Once my spiritual companion Anuradha and I were searching for Yogi inside the big temple. Suddenly we heard our names being called out loud. Ganesan, Radha. We turned and saw Yogi seated on the inner steps of the Brahma Tirtham, a tank inside the temple, calling us to join him. Have you anything to say to this beggar? He said. We started telling him about some major problem at the ashram. Yogi suddenly called out to a poor sadhu, Swami, Swami. The sadhu approached him with reluctance and with an attitude of indifference. Yogi inquired after his broken arm. The sadhu gave a big account of how, despite all the various treatments, including one by a bone setter, the pain persisted. Yogi looked at him with compassion and touched his hand with delicate tenderness. But the sadhu continued to ignore Yogi. Yogi asked Anuradha to bring water in his coconut shell and poured it on the sadhu's arm. He did this a few times. Even when it was going on, the sadhu continued to complain angrily about all those who couldn't heal his arm. And then Yogi gently told him, Shake your arm, Swami. The sadhu did so and was surprised. The pain in his broken arm had vanished. Instantly realizing Yogi greatness, the sadhu fell prostrate at Yogi feet and thanked him. And what did the sage do? He gave the poor sadhu some money to have tea and snacks. Yet another time, Yogi was seated near the Mangaza Maram, a tree inside the big temple, where we usually gathered around him. Swami was approached by a young couple with their year-old baby. Yogi's face lit up as he blessed the child, and the parents said, Swami, a few months ago we brought our baby to you and begged you to cure its bent and contorted leg. You blessed the baby, saying the leg would become all right. Now we ourselves do not remember which leg was bent, because the cure is so perfect. Raising his hands to the sky, Yogi said, This beggar does nothing, Alma, Mother. It is all Father's glory. And Father alone blesses. Father alone cures. It is Father who protects all.